The human experience is constructed by our interactions with the environment, and it's through this engagement, rather than retreating, that we as humans develop. Jacob Frey's short film The Present demonstrates this through its depiction of the overcoming of individual hardships by opening oneself to new experiences. As Frey criticizes the assumptions and disabilities, he prompts reflection on the shortcomings of the human condition and its consequences. Furthermore, parallel to Arthur Miller's tragedy The Crucible, Frey's skillful manipulation of storytelling explores the disconnection between an individual and their wider world through the juxtaposition of relationships, and how from these common harmonious experiences that individual identities are formed. The Present unravels the complexity of human behavior through the protagonist's initial desire to not engage with the real world. This is evident through the long shot used at the beginning of the film, whereby the audience is introduced to a lonely adolescent deeply engrossed in a video game. The scene is dimly lit, with daylight seeping through the narrow window blinds. This scene imitates the narrow windows and sunlight pouring through the windows of The Crucible's Act 1 and 3, echoing the notion of being disconnected from the world around them as they become falsely imprisoned. Moreover, the protagonist is, likewise, in the figurative dark, refusing to engage with the reality of his disability, that is, video games, which function as a metaphorical escape in the times of adversity. The boy's blindness to the puppy's worth when he realizes its disability is revealed through his distasteful facial expression. Why is he so irritated by the puppy? He assumes that its worth is compromised by its physical deformity and returns to his video game. Yet, as the boy's focus moves from his video game to his puppy, the scene moves from dark to bright lighting, symbolizing the newfound joy in the boy's life. Thus, the puppy's true worth is revealed to be in its determination, which inspires the boy's own re-engagement with society. The dynamic relationship between the protagonist and his dog parallels the juxtaposed relationship of John Proctor and Abigail Williams in The Crucible. Just as the protagonist in The Present self-loathes his disability, in The Crucible, John Proctor detests himself due to his infidelity. Overcome with guilt at his affair with Abigail, he becomes disillusioned, culminating in his Freudian admission that he, ironically, just so happens to not remember the commandment of adultery. Although John wishes to dissociate with Abigail, he still addresses her as Abby, revealing his sinful personal connection with her. Here, he remains stunted due to his inability to surmount his past mistakes, highlighting the inconsistencies in human behavior. This is an example of how the individual human experience is deeply influenced by relationships with others, whereby we are not always able to control our emotions or behavior. This notion is further explored in The Present. This short film reveals the need for experiences with the surrounding world in order for humans to develop. The dog here acts as a catalyst as an adolescent boy to engage both physically and emotionally to overcome his hardship and re-engage with the world around him. Through the ongoing utilization of close-up shots of both the dog and the protagonist, the audiences are given opportunities to have an eye contact with the characters and thereby grow in empathy as they witness the progression of emotions, as the boy grows from timid to joy and excitement. The boy's attitude towards life and his surroundings is changed drastically by that of the dog's. This is evident in the transition in lighting of the room and the boy's facial expression as his cold exterior begins to crumble into a smile after witnessing the persistence of his pet dog, who too has an amputated leg. When revealed that the boy is an amputee, just like the dog, the audience is confronted to re-evaluate the emotional personal experiences they felt through the perspective of the boy. Frey succinctly achieves this by intentionally framing the midshots of the boy to hide his other leg, to misdirect the audience's rapport they built with the boy. This plot twist shows the contradicting nature of the boy's behavior, but lets the audience understand the boy in a more positive light and empathize with his struggles of being an amputee. This collective experience plays an important part in the positive development of the human experience. Furthermore, Frey challenges the audience's perception of human behavior by only revealing the boy's disability at the end of the film. This allows the audience to see that there may be flaws in the preconceived judgment of the boy due to his contradicting behavior, as they did not see the full picture. This prompts the audience to reconsider the inconsistencies in their own behavior and how the boy's experience has influenced their outlook on those with disabilities. Through the revelation of the boy's amputated leg, Frey also emphasizes the significance of the common human experience. Although no words or conversations were exchanged between them, the dog and the boy, it is evident that their common experience of losing a limb has allowed them to relate to one another on a more personal level. Despite their shared experience and situation, their outlook on life were initially very different. However, through their common experience of playing with the ball and having a disability, the boy was inspired to persevere and re-engage the outside world.